Biodiversity, a case study. Case study of forest at Ramagundam. 60 to 70 years back, Ramagunda had dense forest with a rich heritage of wildlife. This forest extended to border areas of Manchiria. It was an abode for wild animals like tigers, leopard, deers, hyenas, కంత్రిగళ్ళు, foxes, wild pigs, అడవి bears, pythons, cobras, porcupines, ముళ్ళపంది, owls, hares, monitor, lizards, ఉడుము, scorpions, xeromandals like the desert spider, etc. Xeromandals, mandals like a desert spider, etc. After the establishment of a thermal power station at Ramagundam using coal to produce power and other industries, human activities increased, then many buildings, roads, and stone quarries have come into existence. Forest area was cleared, and so several organisms started disappeared. Though an area near Manchiriala, very close to Ramagundam, was once known as the Tiger Valley, shows no signs of tigers now. Animals like foxes, deers, and xeromandals resembles a desert spider are also not seen in these days. We rarely see animals like pythons, cobras, deers, some kinds of scorpions, and bears in the forest. Now there are several human settlements in the area. Some areas less dense forest or inhabited animals like pythons, cobras, deers, scorpions, etc. Bears are rarely found. Peacocks have been sighted recently. For example, the disappearance of tigers from the area Ramagundam means it is extinct for that particular area only, but can be found in other parts of our country and in the world as well. When animals vanish forever from the earth, it is said to be that the species has become extinct. There are several stories like the case study of Ramagundam in every part of the world. Endangered means it is a warning signal about the organisms whose number has declined rapidly, and the species might be wiped off from the earth in near future. Data of endangered species. Keeping track of endangered species, WWF, World Wide Federation, and IUWC, and International Union for Wildlife Conservation, published a book containing the mm, detailed endangered and threatened species of flora and fauna are called red data book or red list book. The red data book symbolized a warning signal for those species which are endangered and ought to be protected. Otherwise, they are likely to become extinct. The following figure shows some endangered species of plants and animals of India. Lion, red fox, red fox, single-horned rhino, vulture, and spotted cheetah deer, loris, black spider monkey, wild cat, cycas, Ravafloia, serpentina, and an Epanthes sandalwood tree. These are some extinct endangered species in India. Flora and fauna. Name of the species: plants, flora, orchids, sandalwood tree, Cycas ravalfia, serpentia. Next, animals: fauna, leopard, Indian wolf, red fox, red panda, tiger, wildcat, hyena, crocodile, gharial and turtle, python, green sea turtle, peacock, great Indian bustard, pelican, great Indian homed bill, golden monkey, lion-tailed macaque, and Nilgiri langur, loris. Animals: fauna, leopard, Indian lion, Indian wolf, red fox, red panda, tiger, wildcat, hyena, crocodile, tortoise, python, green sea turtle, peacock, great Indian bustard, pelican, great Indian hornbill, golden monkey, lion-tailed macaque, Nilgiri langur, loris. You are also aware of that fact that many plants and animals were widely distributed throughout the world, but some species of plants and animals were found restricted to some areas only. Plants or animal species found restricted to a particular area of a country are called endemic species. You may notice that kangaroo is endemic to Australia and kiwi to New Zealand. Can you tell which among the above pictures represent an endemic species of India? Western Ghats support a diverse plants and animals. There are about 4,000 different types of plants in the Western Ghats, of which 1,500 grow only in this area and are called endemic of this area. So far, we have been using the term species as endangered, extinct, etc. But the species concept does not include all organisms. Species concept applies to majority of the organisms that interbreed among themselves or are capable of sexual reproduction. Many animals, flowering plants, and microorganisms reproduce sexually. But all the organisms do not reproduce sexually. There are several organisms that produce by asexual mode of reproduction. Example: bacteria, yeast cells, and hydra, etc. The species concept does not apply to all these. Origin of biodiversity and balance in nature. We know that many habitats exist in nature which are quite different from each other. Natural calamities like earthquakes, forest fires, or human interventions wipe out diverse farms in an area. It after some time we find organisms growing in those areas. The process often occurs as a sudden invasion of organisms like plants, insects, microbes, humans, etc. They interact with each other and form new habitats and increase in numbers till the habitat gets balanced in its own manner. Do you know invasive alien species is when alien species non-native species is introduced or invades, it spreads throughout the natural habitat and threatens biodiversity. Even transport of a few species to new environment becomes invasive. Their negative impact on food security, plant, animal, and human health can be extensive and substantial. Example: the Spanish flag plant of the forest and the water hyacinth of lakes are most notorious for invasions. And cities like Hyderabad, invasion of pigeons, a non-native species, lead to decrease in crows. Nowadays, city like Hyderabad lacks these natural scavengers. Hyderabad pigeon, water hyacinth. Diversity is not only seen in wild plants and animals. There is also a great diversity in food crops. In our country, we cultivate around 1,200 varieties of different species of rice. If we take the example of rice alone, there are tens of thousands of varieties of a single species of rice. Ask your parents about the various names of paddy. You will learn more about variety of food crops in the chapter production of food from plants. Importance of biodiversity and its conservation. Why should we conserve a small insect like a bee or a butterfly? Observe the above two insects. They are sucking nectar from the flowers. In what way do flowers get benefit? Most of the flowers get pollinated through bees and butterflies. The number of these insects are decreasing due to spraying of pesticides, insecticides. What will happen if these insects become extinct? What can be done to save these insects? Measures of saving plants, flora and animals of fauna, so that they're not lost from the earth's surface or carried through the conscious steps of conservation. Government of India has taken initiative to conserve wildlife by making national parks and sanctuaries, which are certain forest areas to conserve forest flora and fauna from being destroyed. Tiger is the largest member of the cat family, is the most threatened of the world's carnivores. India has 60% of the world's tiger. For the past 5 years, the tiger's population decreased to an average of 35% due to poaching and other reasons. In 1972, Government of India launched this project to save the tiger from the brink of extinction. The health of the ecosystem depends Depends on the save the tiger from the brink of extinction. The health of the ecosystem depends on the well well-being of tiger. At present, there are 50 tiger reserves in our country. Tiger area occupancy found to be stable at 88,985 kilometers square, according to the National Tiger uh, Conservation Conservation Authority Project Tiger Report 2019. The number of tigers present in our country is between between 2000 between 2600 and 3346. The success of the project was achieved by the enforcement of strict anti-poaching measures and scientific conservation practices. National Park and a Sanctuary. A national park is a large area hitched to conserve wildlife, particularly the wild animal species in their natural habitat. For example, lions, tigers, rhinoceros, etc. No human activity is allowed there in any form. Even grazing of domestic animals is a prohibited. Example, Jim Corbett National Park, Uttarakhand. A sanctuary is a place where conservation of a species takes place with the objective of allowing human activity in a limited way without affecting the habitat. Example, Pakal Sanctuary, Warangal. Some endangered animals are brought up from the wild area and raised in the zoo and released into the wild area again. Here, some conservations disguised as pandas. Pandas feed the animal before leaving it into the wild. It gives a natural feeling of being fed by mother and living between the pandas. They can survive within the human care.